What's up, everybody? This is your host, AC Slater. Listen to the episode of That Damn Podcast, that DC Anime Marvel podcast. And now I'm back again with my co host. Say what's up to the people.
What's going on, guys? Nick Mal, technical difficulties as always. If you are hyped for the new Metal Gear Solid Delta coming out, feel free to check me out over on Twitch, TikTok, and YouTube. That is technical difficulties, TECH-NICKAL, and I'll see you guys on over there.
What's up, everybody? This is Ali Baba here for the games, anime, and Marvel.
And this is Mike, as you well know as Gerard Fitness Lifestyle. If you're into words of affirmation, fitness tips, workout videos, or even tailored fitness plans tailored to your business schedule, don't even hesitate. Check out About Page My channel on Instagram, Facebook, and as well as YouTube. And with all that being said, let's get into it.
All right. First things first. How you guys doing tonight?
Same old. There's a lot going on in the gaming world that I have to talk about tonight.
Yep, same here, as well as DC.
All right. Let's get the show started. Tell me about it.
All right, so as of recent, Trump has signed an executive order that might actually save Steam. Now, whether or not that was the intention or unintentional, that might actually help. So what happened was he signed an executive order that mandates that banks cannot make decisions based on politics and can only make decisions based on finances. So essentially what's going on is, as we know with the whole Steam situation, Valve is having to comply with MasterCard and Visa, and any games that they don't like. At first, it was sexual games, right? If it was anything that was seen as inappropriate, Steam would have to take it down, which they did. They took down about 1,000 games so far. Now, Visa came out and added on something saying that anything that was defined as non-consensual dismemberment, which could involve most violent video games. So basically, these policies could take down Steam. And unfortunately, these are politically motivated moves. So now, because of this executive order, Visa card and MasterCard can only decline a transaction for financial purposes. So if I'm trying to buy something off Steam and I don't have the funds for it, then MasterCard can decline. But they can't stop me from buying a porn game or buying Postal or any kind of crazy violent video games. They can't stop me. They can only stop illegal transactions, and they can only stop things based on financial purposes and not political ones. So, right now, like I said, that might have actually just inadvertently saved Steam. We'll see what happens going forward, but that's that happening. Also, something I've talked about in the past when it comes down to the tech industry, even gaming too. There's a saying, you will own nothing, and you will be happy. Well, in the event that was going on with the Switch situation, right? Nintendo bricking Switches. I remember someone having kind of an example. What if it were cars getting bricked, right? What if you bought a car right off the lot, and because you said something or did something the company didn't like, they bricked your car? Well, it happened. Tesla. A guy made a music video about the Cybertruck. He made a song about the Cybertruck, and what ended up happening was Tesla didn't like it. They didn't like what he had to say. So they basically claimed to him that he was in violation of their TOS, and while he was on the highway of all places, they disabled his vehicle. His vehicle just locked up and shut down right in the middle of the highway.
This is when feelings and technology does not coexist.
Exactly. So what ended up happening was, so now I don't know if I guess he had to tow his car. I don't know what happened. Granted, that's still a developing situation. But yeah, now this guy's car got fucking bricked. Now here's the kicker too. He's not the only one. There's at least, far as I can find, 2 reports of owners getting their Cybertrucks bricked. So, yeah, this is what I've been saying. You will own nothing. You will be happy. That's like, now we're at this day and age where you can lose ownership of your car because the vehicle manufacturer got offended. Like, what the fuck is this bullshit?
They get undefended real fast.
That's what I'm saying. Isn't the Cybertruck like $60K or some shit like that.
It's more than that.
Is
It's
it?
like 100 something. Like, yeah, bro. It's like regular pickup trucks are like 60K. Cybertruck is way more than that.
And on top of that, too, which is wild to think, you just go into a dealership, sign away about $100,000 of your life, because let's face it, most people are not going to just drop that. You're going to be paying that off over God knows how long. And, you make one shitty comment online about the company, and all of a sudden, there goes your car. You're not driving this anymore. And you can't get a refund. They're not gonna, they sent them a cease and desist, too. So that was the thing, the guy with music video. And that's the wild thing. The computer even said it. Like, on his car, it said, due to cease and desist, you're in violation of terms of service.
Crazy. So, here's the thing. The basic model is 61,000. And then, actually, it says the base price is $69.99. And then the all-wheel drive model is 85. So like if you want anything custom made to it as well, that is going to be pushing you to like 100. And then on top of that, the towing capacity is trash on that truck. So like you're buying a truck, but it's not a truck, really. Honestly.
Exactly. But going forward with it, so Steam just honestly can't catch a break. Apparently now in the modding community, there have been illegitimate DMCA strikes going back and forth. At this point, some people are calling it the DMCA war. And that's because, for one reason or another, mod developers, either as one mod developer or multiple, it's a lot of back and forth, and everyone's saying it's that guy, it's that guy, it's that guy. But basically what's happening is someone got their panties up in a bunch, and they're going around on Steam, and they're basically dropping DMCA strikes on a bunch of games. Effectively what this is doing is, this is putting a bunch of mods in question right now, and this might cause a bunch of them to get deleted because of legal issues. Now, I don't know to the specifics of how bad this has gotten or who's responsible or anything like that, but basically, games that we know that have been hit: Hearts of Iron 4, RimWorld, Binding of Isaac, Gmod, Counter-Strike 2, or I'm sorry, CS2. I think it's Counter-Strike. Project Zomboid, Starbound, Terraria, Left 4 Dead 2, Stellaris, EU4, Gates of Hell, Ostfront, Mountain Blade, Bannerlord, Kenshi, CK3, and a few others. So effectively, mod developers across the board throughout these games are just getting hit left and right with DMCA strikes. And if the thing is that Steam doesn't really have a way of verifying whether or not these are legitimate. So the problem now comes down to is that if Steam doesn't really investigate these, they're just going to get deleted probably. So it kind of depends on what Steam's going to do in the end. Now, I am hearing people saying that these mods aren't being deleted, that these are just more notifications like, hey, this is in question. So there is kind of still mixed information on this going on at the moment. Someone I talked to within my community said that apparently he heard that it all started from Hearts of Iron 4, that it was a mod developer for The Fire Rises that might have started this. Now, why they started it, I honestly don't know. But the claim, one word, is that it was them. I don't have any verification of that. I cannot say 1,000% whether or not. This is word of mouth. But, again, just kind of leading in the direction of where this might have started. So, yeah. Not for nothing, too, YouTube has a very similar problem with DMCAs. Now, another issue with this whole ordeal is that the way DMCA works is that if you are illegitimate, like say we got a DMCA strike because I'm playing Metal Gear right now, right? The way it works is I'm not doing anything illegitimate or wrong. Oh, fuck, this guy's a pain in my ass. Anyway, sorry. Basically, the way it would work is you have to surrender personal information in order to kind of try to fight the claim. So what you would have to do is surrender your name, complete mailing address, and phone number. And in some cases, some content creators have used false DMCA strikes to harass other content creators. Because, say, again, another content creator tried to use this game to screw us over, right? Basically, what would end up happening is we would have to send him our legal information for legal purposes. In turn, what would end up happening is now he has all of our personal information and can start harassing us. So Yeah, this isn't like it's not the whole DMCA issue system isn't a good system. It doesn't really protect us in any way, shape, or form. Um, so this is a situation that's just probably going to get stupider unless Steam really steps in, cracks down, and tries to stop it. But anyway, in regards to news so far, your thoughts?
Um, Me personally, I've always thought that like mods were always like something that were done to like games that were like solo play, where like you have like a different costume or uh you can put like Snoop Dogg into a game or something like that. That's what
Yeah,
I always vision or envision mods as.
yeah.
But some mods
Insane
are
characters,
sometimes,
things of that nature.
yeah, but sometimes some mods are enhancing in nature as well. So like again, if it's like a game that's only for like me to play and there's like a solo play game, I don't care. When it gets into the part where it's like an online game where there's multiple people playing, I can see the problem.
Well, no, it depends. So here's the thing. So when we're talking about mods, we're not talking about cheating. We're talking about just general overhauls and alterations. Like so, for example, in Hearts of Iron, right? Perfect example of that. The Hearts of Iron, its base game is in World War II. But if you and your other people playing with you all have the same mods downloaded, you can change it from World War II to the Cold War to Gundam. So it's still the same Hearts of Iron top-down strategy, but now you're changing the time period and the scenarios and things like that. So you're expanding the game. Effectively, you're almost creating like free player-made DLC essentially. That's basically the way you can look at it. Yes, there are mods that can be used for cheating purposes, of course, but that's not typically something that Steam has on their platform. Typically, most mods that are available, especially on Steam in the Steam Workshop, are either cosmetic or new custom maps or new levels, things like that. So for the most part, modding doesn't hurt the game. If anything, it expands its life and just keeps players playing longer. For example, I think right now, Left 4 Dead 2, a game as old as it is, still has over 3,000 players active because of mods and because of the modding community. So I think what you're thinking of in terms of modding is like people who are using it to cheat and hurt other people. The kind of mods I'm talking about are like conversion mods and things that expand the game that doesn't hurt it.
Okay. Well, I mean, I'm all for it. I don't see the issue. But I can understand why if they have like microtransactions in that game and instead of paying money into the game, they're paying money to the mods instead.
Well, the thing
That
is,
can hurt the company as
well,
well.
no, the mods don't make any money typically. It's all free. But the thing is that these DMCA strikes aren't coming from the company. It's not coming from Valve. It's coming from other players. So it's like if you and I are mod developers and I don't like what you made, so I'm sending a claim against you saying that you stole my mod.
Oh, so somebody's just saying that you stole the mod. Oh, okay.
Yes, that's what this has nothing to do with the companies coming after them. I'm saying these games are all games that have large modding communities, and for whatever reason, these modders, like I said, so the mod for Hearts of Iron, The Fire Rises, claim is that they're the ones who started. Maybe I'm wrong. Again, I don't know for certain. From what I'm hearing, that might be the case, but again, I could be wrong. If that is true, though, it all started within the Hearts of Iron 4 modding community, and it's just been this nuclear DMCA war between modders.
Gotcha. And me personally, okay. So if there's any modders listening to this, this is what I would say. Uh, Post your content on wherever you want to post it to. Make sure that you have a file that can show the time and date that it was actually created. So then, if anybody has any kind of, hey, this wasn't done by him, it was done by me, you can always say, hey, I created this, it was finished on this date, posted on the website on that date, timestamps proving everything, you should be fine. Because everybody, you can doctor, yes, you can doctor pictures, but if it's the original picture, then they know that's the original source. Now, somebody can doctor a picture and they can just do a little bit of due diligence and see that, hey, this is not the original picture, it's been doctored. And you can easily win that case. So, in the future references, just do that to cover your butts.
Absolutely. But anyway, continuing on. Battlefield 6's studio claims that it managed to stop 330,000 attempts at cheating. So, I don't know. Okay, so here's the thing that kind of I pointed out. So, last time we were talking about this, Call of Duty announced that apparently you need all kinds of crazy security for your PC in order to be able to play the game effectively. And this is to stop cheating. Battlefield managed to, on a beta no less, stop 330,000 attempts. And far as I'm aware, we didn't need to do anything crazy to our systems. So my question comes down to what did EA do differently that Call of Duty and Activision can't?
Well, EA has Apex, and Apex has been a huge cheat.
Yeah, it's been a
And
huge and modern community. I already know that for a fact.
yeah. So basically, they probably use the same anti-cheat that they have from Apex and probably put it in Battlefield.
Oh, probably.
And yeah, so that's basically what probably it is. And good for them, because the worst thing that you want to do is to have somebody blatantly cheating and you're trying to enjoy a game. Like, I've seen people like shoot up at the sky and hit people behind them. Like that's no fun.
Right.
Like, he's not looking at you. How did that bullet hit you? Like, I absolutely deplore people that cheat. I mean, I don't play video games that much, and I'm decent at video games. If you have to cheat, you're just a terrible person. And I'm just gonna leave it at that.
So what I'm gonna say is, I agree, but like I said, even if they're using anti-cheat from another game, what did Battlefield do? That what did Battlefield and EA do that Call of Duty can't? Why is it that their games are better against cheating than Call of Duty?
That's because Call of Duty believe that they fixed the problem with their ricochet, but not really. And then most accounts that do get banned, like like for Call of Duty, if you spend a lot of money on Call of Duty, they will overlook what you're doing.
Is that confirmed? Like, you
It,
actually know that they overlook it?
it's seen in the community.
Mm.
I can't say allegedly. It's seen in the community that a lot of people who do spend a lot of money on Call of Duty and cheat, they still keep their accounts active. Now, I'm not saying all of them, but for the most part, the people that are always paying for the battle passes, always paying for everything that new come out and still cheat, you still see them in the lobbies. Now, Ricochet does stop some things, but it really doesn't stop everything. And the stuff that they can exploit, they keep exploiting. And Call of Duty doesn't really care about changing it, because the only time that they really care about it is pro play. After that, everything else is casual.
Oh, yeah. I mean, granted, if that's the truth, I mean, yeah, Call of Duty kind of needs to pull its head out of his ass. Because that's bullshit. If they're basically just letting people, for lack of a better word, pay them off.
I mean, Apex isn't perfect either. Like, it's been shown that the the mod, no, I should say the mod, but the cheat that, or ability to cheat that they use is they will have a program or a script running where it shows that they're on console, but they're actually on PC. And with that being said, because there's a different protocol for how cheats are detected when it comes to PC versus console, those people on PC are able to still use some cheats because it's still registered as a console. So it still doesn't get picked up because it's registering as a console. And on top of that, um, a known cheater that boosts accounts and basically get people on Preds, and that's all he does is like sell Pred accounts left and right. And he said it makes like 10K a month just selling
Jesus.
Pred accounts. Yeah. So what he does is he makes sure that before the account gets to Pred and before he starts doing like egregious cheats, he makes sure the account gets to level 200.
Why is that?
Because the reason being is because they figure after 200, you've been playing the game long enough so you have enough experience, so you just might be good. That's how they view it, even though you're cheating. But if you do it at like level 10 to 50, you automatically get banned during that period of time because there's no way that you're doing that. And then if you are doing that, then you are doing something that's called smurfing, and smurfing is also frowned upon too, which is considered cheating as well. So those counts get banned very, very fast. So he had to learn over the years that after level 200, he could just ramp up the cheats.
So that's why I see a lot of veterans in Call of Duty get away with murder.
Basically.
Yeah.
Mm.
Because if they're 10 times prestige, you're thinking, oh, they're just good at the game. Nah.
Nah. Man, you remember times back in the day, man. I just see a person with that you know when you play that take control of the Reaper and you see that little red square, man. I'm talking about one shot and through across obstacles in buildings and just one shotting everything. I'm saying, bro. Wow.
Yeah.
Yeah, but
It's no fun.
Anyway, continuing on, Xbox out in the UK is going to require users for age verification starting early 2026. Again, I'm on a 50-50 with that. I definitely think, on one hand, it does come down to the issue of I definitely don't think kids should be playing M-rated games, especially online. So that's a good thing, but at the same time, I think in the end of the day, we shouldn't have to be surrendering more and more of our personal information, and it should just come down to the parents should be monitoring their child. So, yeah, Xbox is going to be requiring UK accounts to do age verification come early 2026.
Yeah.
Hmm?
Me personally, I've always like this is what I think. And you're right, this is on the parents. Because when you sign up your or log into your Xbox, you have to give them an email address. That email address has your information. That information has your date of birth and your age, also your name. And then on top of that, if you want to make purchases, your card has your information of your name, date of birth, your address, or your zip code at least. So then you should know if this person is of age from that personally. Then on top of that, you do have the age restriction that parents can put on their councils. Now, again, it's up to the parents to do so. And like you're saying, it's definitely something that shouldn't be put on the other users because we've seen, especially like the PlayStation Network. I'm sorry, I'm throwing it under the bus, but the PlayStation Network has been hacked so many times, and you want people to put their IDs on there that has all that personal information
Yeah, no,
that's not encrypted, and it
absolutely
shows
not.
your face too. Like you know how many people make fake IDs? So now you want fake IDs to be running rampant now? Like no, I'm not doing it. I'm not signing up for it.
That's what I'm saying. I disagree. Now, granted, this is just out in the UK, but nevertheless, I do think that the fact that they can do it in the UK because of laws, that is a dangerous precedent. Because typically, when it comes down to European and American law, if it tends to start in one side, it ends up in the other. So when we start something legally, they tend to follow, and vice versa. Now, I have heard that apparently they did want to do the same kind of verification here in the States, but Trump is actively fighting it. So we'll see what happens. We will see what happens.
Now, what do you
Sorry,
like
Jim.
about the UK or European countries is when they don't like something, they'll actually get out and protest. Um, we're we're more keyboard warriors over here in the United States.
Yeah, yeah. No, we're quick. We're quick to bitch and moan, but we won't actually. You know, it's not even just keyboard warriors and shit like that. That's not. You're right. You're absolutely right. But that's not. That's not just all. Um, it's like I feel like people just don't want to be inconvenienced. So it's like, oh, I don't like this, but why should I bother arguing? Like, let someone else do it. You know what I mean? I do feel like to some degree it is a matter of they just don't want to be bothered. Which no, you should do something about it. I think when it comes down to a company doing something that you don't like, the best way to do it is vote with your dollars. Either buy the cheaper version of it or don't buy it at all. Um, I think in the end of the day, people are just hoping that the guy above them fixes it, and they're just looking for the path of least resistance. So that's kind of my take on it, in my opinion. But anyway, going forward, Take-Two CEO claims that GTA 6 will give more than what the asking price is. So they feel that they are going to give players a product that is worth more than $100. I personally have my questions because it's GTA after all, but it does kind of come down to that whole thing of like, you know, they're claiming, oh yeah, we're gonna give you all this. It's like, yeah, but we haven't seen it yet. On top of that, too, unfortunately, games have this bad history, especially modern day. Yeah, don't worry, we'll don't worry, we'll get there later. We'll get it to you later. But so that kind of concerns me.
Is it up to the customer to decide what the game is worth?
Exactly, I agree. It's absolutely up to us to decide whether or not the game is worth $100. But Take-Two's claim is that no, it'll be perfect, it'll be fine, it'll be worth $100. Yeah, okay. Honestly, more and more, especially for the fact that they may have to delay the game again. I mean, granted, delays aren't always a bad thing, but it's Rockstar.
Delayed like another year though. I think it's, if I'm not correct.
I think it got delayed now.
Another year?
Yeah, about another year. They're looking at possibly late. I think now, sometime 2027.
Yeah. See.
But now at this point, we don't. I don't know how far along this is gonna go. Granted, like I said, I don't trust Rockstar. So we'll see what happens. I mean, I don't even trust EA, but I'll get into Battlefield later. Other than that, the director on the Resident Evil movie that is in production says that it won't have any of the existing characters because all their stories have already been told. So what that tells me is this movie's gonna be shit right out the gate. I've said this before and I'll say it again. So growing up as a kid, I've always wanted my father to play video games with me as a kid, and he was just never into it. So I see video game movies and shows as a way of being able to tell people of his generation, people who don't want to play video games, being able to tell them these stories that we grew to love, being in a format to tell them it. You know what I mean? My father's never going to sit down and watch me play a video game and fail over and over again, much like what I'm doing here in Metal Gear, but he'll sit down and watch a movie. So having a well-written movie based on video game franchises that we enjoy are a great way of introducing generations that don't play video games to these stories. When you tell me this is Resident Evil, but then have none of the characters in relation to the franchise, well, then it's not Resident Evil anymore. That's like, honestly, the way I look at it is, it's like taking Macbeth or Othello or any of those classical books, using the same titles, but then it has none of the characters that the books were, written about. So at that point, is it really the same product anymore? Is it the same story? No. So, in my opinion, right off the bat, I'm going to call it, this is probably going to be another Resident Evil movie that's a failure, in my opinion. But, thoughts?
I mean, how many Resident movies is it going to take for them to realize?
Too many, especially for the fact that there was a documentary on George Romero's version of Resident Evil, and apparently it was going to be based entirely on the games, and it was going to be focused a lot more on horror as well. So, apparently what I've heard, if George Romero's version of the Resident Evil movie came out, it probably would have been really good. So, but Capcom keeps... It's like, bro, it's one shot in the foot after the other. They decided, hey, we're not going to go with Romero, we're going to go with Paul W.S. Anderson. Then they decided to do the live-action Netflix. Then they did another live-action that was based on the games, and it was horrible because they mixed 3 games into one. And now they're doing a Resident Evil that's not based on any of the games. Can Capcom learn, please?
Well, unpopular opinion here. I thought the Resident Evil movies were good.
Here's the thing.
Granted, I never played the games.
So
based off of just movies solely, I like them.
So the first movie definitely was better, in my opinion. And I get that from the perspective of someone who's never played the games. You might enjoy the movies, and for what at least the Paul W.S. Anderson ones were, they were at the very least enjoyable. And I'll even say I watched them myself. They weren't terrible movies, but as a Resident Evil fan, they had nothing to do with the games. And honestly, to some degree too, I felt like they did misrepresent the characters for who they were. For example, the last Resident Evil movie that came out, it depicted Wesker as having loyalty to somebody else. Wesker was never like that. Wesker was only loyal to himself. As a matter of fact, I remember a line from Resident Evil 5. Chris said it himself. Wesker doesn't give a damn about anybody but himself. But in the movie, they depict him as being loyal and obedient to that doctor. What the fuck was his name? Simon, I think his name was. But it's like, yeah, that's not who Wesker is. And then on top of that, too, mind you, the man was swimming in fucking lava in Resident Evil 5. Dude was just straight chilling in that shit. The movie, he gets killed by a goddamn door. Man can damn near teleport, can swim in lava, but in the movies, the door kills him. Okay, sure. That makes sense. So yeah, like I said, if you've never played the games, you might enjoy those movies, but then if you play the games, you're going to sit there and go, man, this shit's stupid. It is. But, yeah, I have no faith in this movie. Other than that, Helldivers might be doing a crossover with Fortnite. Their CEO did Helldivers, Arrowhead Studios CEO says that Fortnite's new bug squishing season feels very democratic, and says that, well, basically it's a thought on their mind. So we could see a Fortnite crossover with Helldivers. It is a thought in the mind, but it's nothing confirmed as of yet. So we might see Helldivers dropping into Fortnite sometime soon. It's possible. Other than that, there's a new game. Oh, yes. Have you guys heard any recent news about Pal World?
No, I didn't. What's going on?
Oh, I got a good one for you. I got a good one for you. Have you guys ever heard of Pal Land?
No.
Imagine this, gentlemen. Imagine Pal World. But if it was made by Wish.com. You can't catch pals. It's clunky as fuck. The Pokemon just stare at you. And it's on the eShop. So
It's on Steam?
it is. I don't know if it's on Steam, but it is on the eShop. Here, give me 1 minute. Okay, so I couldn't find a trailer for Pal Land because there is no trailer because this game just shit. So I found this YouTube video just to show you guys what Pal Land looks like. Not that. This is basic. Oh my god, these fucking ads.
Ranger Rick.
There we go. This is Pal Land. So you can kill the Pokemon. I don't know if you can catch them, but basically it's a base builder. People are saying this has some very low quality basic similarities to Pal World. So I think, honestly, in my opinion, I find it kind of funny that this is a thing. So even if this isn't entirely like a Pokemon ripoff, effectively Nintendo is allowing a game similar on their platform.
I mean, hell, I mean, some companies were going this far to seem to copyright. What was that one game that seemed to copyright Horizon? That one was hilarious.
That was bad. That was like shot for shot. But my whole argument is that you have a game that's similar to Pokemon that you can has guns. I don't know if you can catch the pals, but this game is very much as shitty as it is. It has similarities to Pal World, yet Nintendo's allowing it on their platform.
Because it doesn't have the catching feature, probably. That's probably what it is.
I just realized I wasn't showing any of that on the fucking stream, so now I'm pissed. But yeah, basically this is what the game looks like. I just realized that I'm an idiot. But yeah, I'm sorry, but yeah, it's not grabbing people as much as Pal World itself does. So sure, but this is what I'm saying. Like honestly, I think this is gonna hurt. This might hurt Nintendo in court. Honestly.
And I say they deserve it. I mean,
Amen.
you're being way too scrutiny. You're scrutinizing over this game way too much for the fact that it was just more popular.
Exactly.
And
Absolutely.
compared it to your game. Now, I feel like if people would never said, like, to describe it as Pokemon with guns, or to complain at Pokemon or Nintendo for not producing a game that looks as good as Power Worlds, I think that we would never have this problem. But for the fact that a game did come out that was smoother, less glitchy, and also played better than than Pokemon, and it was not something that Pokemon made, and it dropped like a year or like either a year or two or like around the same year they dropped a new game, and that new game was basically a copy and paste of the last game. It's not our fault. It's your fault for not producing anything that good. It's
Exactly.
your fault for bringing out these consoles that can't run stuff. Like, make a better console, and you finally did that with the Switch 2. But at the same time,
Well, it's arguably if the Switch 2 is a better console because apparently too people are saying that it has ghosting and has issues worse than the Switch 1. And on top of that too, they had to raise the price of the Switch 1.
yeah, the Switch 1 did reduce prices because like retailers basically fought back and said, "No, we're not doing that."
Yeah. So I mean, we'll like I said, we'll see what happens with Nintendo going forward. I'm hoping that this does cause some issues for them legally. That would be great because Nintendo needs that shot, honestly. Um, but other than that, continuing on, Battlefield 6, I got a chance to play it, and overall, what I'm gonna say is it's Battlefield. Now, is it a better Battlefield? Yeah, I feel like I went back to Battlefield 4 with a fresh coat of paint. So for players who, like myself, who loved Battlefield 4, hopped on with friends, had that modern kind of shooting, yeah, I feel like EA took what made Battlefield 4 good and brought it back. Um, but the thing is, I still don't trust EA. Much like Rockstar, I don't trust them. I think knowing EA, knowing how they are, I kind of have this sneaking suspicion that they're going to slip something in after the fact. The game's going to release, and EA is going to slip something in. Oh, hey, you got to buy all these battle passes, and now the game's going to be shit. I'm expecting it. So, do I think, from what I saw from the beta, do I think it's good? Absolutely. I absolutely had a great time, and I enjoyed it playing with a friend of mine. The servers ran very well, so I can't really give EA shit for what they presented, but I still don't trust them. They have too many years of bullshit under their belt that it's like I can't just forget what happened. So I can't just hand you my money and pretend like, I can't pretend like it never happened. So way I see it, yeah, I'm not pre-ordering the game. I'm not buying it day one. If I really gotta play it, I'll pay for EA's Game Pass thing, where it's like $10, and you get all their games for like a month. I'll do that and play Battlefield. I'm not gonna buy it until I know for certain that EA is not gonna bullshit us and they've actually learned their lesson. In the end of the day, going back to what I said before, I do think it's up to us as the consumer to tell these companies whether or not we're happy with them, and the best way to do that is to vote with your dollars. So doing things like buying EA and Ubisoft and Xbox's Game Passes and whatnot, rather than buying the game, is a great way of telling them, hey, we're not happy with you. We still want to play these games to try them out, but we're not going to give you the funds to justify the game. Because simply put, we don't trust you. If we support the game, we'll buy the game. If you fuck us over, we're not going to buy it anymore. And much like what people are saying when it comes down to Ubisoft, if buying isn't owning, then pirating isn't stealing.
And I agree with that because the fact that the game can be gone from rotation or even circulation in like 2 to 3 years or even 5 years just because you don't want to keep up with the maintenance or your company goes down. Okay, well, so what am I supposed to do with the money that I just spent on this game?
Oh, it's not even just that. I mean, you're talking about it if it's online only. How about the fact that they could just pull it from your library and be like, "Yeah, sorry, you don't own this anymore. We had contract problems, so it's not yours anymore. Sorry." So yeah, and like I said, EA knowing how they are with their battle passes, and granted, a lot of companies are very iffy with microtransactions, but the way we start getting better quality games and less pushy microtransactions, again, vote with your dollars. That's the best way to do it. That's why I was like, I'm not gonna buy the game day one. At worst, a week or two in, or at best, a week or two in. If I really gotta play it, I'll do their pass, and if I can hold off, I'll hold off as long as I can. Honestly, until my friends are all haunting the shit out of me, and then I might just do their pass. But I probably won't buy it. But anyway, going forward, Helldivers, speaking of, released a new trailer for their Xbox release. I'm going to show you guys that in a minute. People are saying that this hints at an ODST crossover. So give me a minute. Let me move us over to that, and I will show you. All right, here we go. If you guys see this, I'm going to start playing it.
Rated M for mature.
Here comes the ready or not. Here comes the boys for the sound. I am my crew, we stay true, old school and new. Many will come with the chosen of few. We rise to the top, what you want, just in case you forgot. Rush the stage, grab my mic, show me what you got.
Guessing that maybe. The rest of it looked like Mandalorian.
Yeah, it really does. I was about to say that was the only one thing.
Okay, yeah.
So that end bit, people are saying they feel as though it hints at a crossover between Halo ODST and Helldivers. Because of the music and there's a few things. So the music, yes, that music sounds very reminiscent of that of what you would hear on a Halo ODST. But then also too, there was just a one single Hell pod that dropped in. That's what happened on ODST. You started off by yourself.
Okay.
So, I mean, there's a number of angles to this. I mean, at first it was the fact that you have, like I said, single lone drop pod landing on its own. The music, city, rainy at night, all very reminiscent of ODST. But then on top of that too, you got to remember that on August 26th, when this game releases, that's the day that Reach got glassed by the Covenant. So there are a number of things here, so it's seeming more and more like they're going to do some kind of crossover for Halo. There's going to be something. So people are thinking it's ODST. I think it's going to be kind of awesome. Now I'm wondering, are they just going to do a skin pack, and it's going to be like a Halo skin, much like what they did with the Killzone? Or is there going to be something more to it? I don't know. But we'll see. I'm interested in seeing what they do. But that's going to be coming out later this month, and yeah, but with that said, I'm going to leave my stuff there and pass it off to whoever's next.
Alrighty, in the gaming news, I have a few things here. If anybody is a fan of the racing games, especially like Mario type, esque games, Sonic Racing Cross Worlds is coming out at on the 9/24/2025, and you can actually pre-order it right now. I don't know if it's going to be a early play access, but you can pre-order it, and it features multiple different carts, your power-ups, rings, and just playable maps. Also, if you're interested into RPG Tactics, Final Fantasy Tactics is coming out on 9/30/2025, and is featuring fully voiced dialogue, beautifully enhanced graphics, and countless gameplay improvements. And then on top of that, news about Power Worlds. Power Worlds has also helped develop a horror game with some of the titles or developers of Baldur's Gate 3 and Final Fantasy. And basically, it's saying that in this article that Power Worlds, even if they are going to have uh, or Pocket Pair, I should say, even if they're going to have some problems with Nintendo with the Pokemon dispute, they are still going to be a company that will thrive. So it won't be the last that we see of them. And as you see with their Power Worlds, they're having collabs with different other games. So they're still in the limelight and people are still supporting them. And that is my gaming news. Anybody have any thoughts or questions about the stuff that I came over?
It's nice to see that with Pocket Pair and Pal World, that other developers are taking notice and siding with them. Because let's face it, if anybody thought that Nintendo, well, if anybody serious had a thought that Nintendo was in the right here, Pal World wouldn't be getting the kind of support that they are. So it's nice to see that there is as much support going towards them as there is. And I am really hoping that this lawsuit bites Nintendo in the ass, because honestly, again, my whole thing of we should be allowed to own the things we purchase falls in line with this. I mean, it's not even just Pal World, it's everything Nintendo is doing. It's like literally in 1 year, Nintendo decided, you know what? This is the year of the dickhead. So we're going to be the biggest assholes of the market this year alone. You know, like, so I have nothing but faith for Pal World, and I think that they're going to come out of this stronger. And I think this is going to give them a lot of popularity for future projects.
You think they'll ever make it what's that word? Cross-platform against all systems.
Well, Pal World, I believe, is already cross-plat.
Yeah, I believe it's already yeah, it's cross-platform already. It's
Okay.
cross-platform with PC and Xbox, I believe. I don't think it's cross-platform all the way with. Actually, no, it is. I think I put it in. Yeah, I put it in the chat. It's cross-platform for all platforms. It's $29.99.
Okay. 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 Cool. I mean, yeah, I think hopefully it does succeed with its platform and nature. Hopefully the content goes further. How long has that game been out for?
It's been out for a few years now.
Pal World? No, it's only been out a year at least.
A year?
Gotta be at least a year.
Has to be over a year. They've been in litigation with Pokemon for a while, or Nintendo for a while.
Let me see. I'll tell you right now. I'm 95% certain that Pal World's only been out roughly a year. I don't think it's been that long. I remember talking about it with my ex when I was still with her. Yeah, no, there you go. January 19th, 2024.
Okay, yeah. Over a year. Nice. So it was like a year and a half.
Roughly.
Yeah. Oh, I do have one last thing on the gaming news. There is a free-to-play game on Steam. It is an idle clicker called Galaxy Idle Clicker. Basically, it's like a free-to-play game, something super simple. And if you are interested in something to add to your library, go check it out. You can use some of your things that you or accolades in the game to upgrade your spaceship. So it does have the free to play function. Now I'm pretty sure they're going to have some things in there that you can't pay for, but as of right now, the full experience of the game is free to play. And that was launched on the 7th, and they actually did a early access, and that early access was on the 17th of last month. or the 18th of last month. And basically, what they did was they got feedback from players, asking them what could be improvements for the game, and they took that to evolve the game to a better product for the end user. And that is my take on games.
You said that was all you have for games?
Yeah, so if anybody else got anything on games, or we can start on DC.
Oh, okay. I just wanted to kind of touch back on what Nick was saying about some of the games and how they kind of transferred over to the movie and how movies in Hollywood. I was just saying, yeah, I kind of agree. I think the only one I kind of only have the last hope for is Sonic the Hedgehog. That's pretty much the only franchise I can only hope for that they do right so far. I can't wait for Sonic 4.
Like I said, I gave my thoughts on Sonic 3 already. I wasn't thrilled with it. So, Lord willing, when they do Sonic 4, they actually do it better and they don't fuck up.
Yeah, yeah.
Wait, you didn't like Shadow?
I feel like no, it's not. I think the characters, the way they were done, was good, but I wasn't happy with the way they did the story. This movie should have been Sonic Adventure 2 technically, but instead it was a lot more Shadow the Hedgehog and less emphasis on Sonic Adventure 2. On top of that, there are certain things that they cut out from the story that were actually critical to, if they're following the lore the way I'm assuming they're going to, which is basically the adventure games. They basically cut out a huge aspect of the Sonic lore, and they might have actually written themselves into a hole. The Space Colony arc, for one. Them getting rid of the whole arc and just making it the canon, that undid so much, because the whole purpose of the arc was researching a disease. And on top of that, that's where Shadow was born. The arc's secondary purpose was to be a weapon against the Black Arms, knowing that they were going to eventually invade Earth. So by them getting rid of the space colony and then also changing Shadow's back, like they still kept the whole Black Comet thing in and that he's an alien. So technically speaking, they can still bring in the Black Arms, but at present we don't have the core way to wipe out the Black Arms the way we did in the games. So my thinking is they're not going to include them. So now, at this point, the only thing I can think is that they're going to deviate and do their own thing.
Yeah, I think they're going to be more family-friendly than it is going to be action-based, if that makes sense. Now, it does have action, but I don't think it's going to go too deep into the lore, because I think, the next person is Rouge that's supposed to be showing up?
Well, actually, Rouge should have already showed up by now.
Yeah,
I
Rouge
know,
was
but I'm
should have shown
saying
up.
based off of the...
Well,
image
Amy
of,
showed up in the end of it. So, yeah, technically her and Amy, Metal Sonic.
Yeah.
The other thing, too, is I wasn't a fan of some of the dialogue, personally. Like, they had some dialogue choices that they probably could have done better. Like when Shadow first meets them, the whole back and forth. Why do you look like me? How do you look like me? What, like, bro? Nah, they could have used a much better line from Sonic Adventure 2. In the Green Jungle, I think it was called, when you fight whether you fight Sonic or Shadow, whoever's side you're playing. There's a line that they have going back and forth where he goes, "I found you, faker." He goes, "Faker? I think you're the fake around here. You're comparing yourself to me." Like, that honestly would have been a better way they could have done it. But in my opinion, like I said, overall, I just wasn't, I wasn't thrilled with the movie. I felt like it cut out a lot. I just feel like it took away from what the games were a little bit. I just feel like they missed out on too much.
Fair enough.
Now, here's the thing.
I guess I wasn't a huge Sonic fan when it came to, like, the dialogue. I was more just playing the game. Like, I played early Sonic, like, back on the Sega Genesis. Like, I really didn't play, like, the newer games, I should say. Like, the older games, I did play those. So, those weren't really, like, dialogue-based too heavy. They were basically just, like...
You talking like the Genesis games?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, dialogue. There was no dialogue.
Yeah.
No, so...
That's Sonic I know. That's what I'm saying.
I mean,
Sonic
here's the
the
thing.
dialogue was still a little less in even in the GameCube era.
If they want to follow the comics more, there is things they can use from the comics. So it is possible they could bring Shadow's brother into it.
Eclipse. Mm-hmm.
So yeah,
Hopefully
Eclipse. So they could bring Shadow's brother into it somehow. I don't know how they're gonna do it, but they technically would bring his brother. That's a character that they've barely ever used, so that would be interesting. There are also theories that Metal Sonic there's theories that Metal Sonic is a Sonic from another universe where he is in fact the actual Sonic. Because Metal Sonic's whole thing is that he firmly believes that he is the real Sonic, and the one that he's dealing with is that our Sonic is an imposter. So there is theories that there was I can't remember which Sonic it was, but there was a Sonic game where it actually had to deal with time travel, like that Sonic traveled into a different universe where Dr. Eggman had won, and he turned Sonic into a robot. So
I think that was just Shadow Sonic the Hedgehog. I think
it was an old like Genesis era game. I think it was Sonic CD. But it's because of that people believe that the Metal Sonic that we have is actually a version of Sonic, but just basically, for lack of a better word, evil. So he believes that he's the real Sonic. So they might pull something like that. Like there might be time travel involved in this somehow. So we'll see what happens.
Yeah. I can't wait to see what happens. Apparently, I think it's still in line to come out next year. So hopefully we'll get a trailer before the end of this year. So switching on to DC news. It seems like we have a big backlash coming from South Park, and that was from the episode, well, in season 27, latest episode, got a nut, apparently, was South Park showing a parody of Crypto getting shot.
The dog?
Yeah, getting shot point blank.
That dog was kind of an asshole. Just gonna say.
That's unfortunate.
Yeah, second. Here, I'll give a little short. It's a little short, very, very short episode. Well, a little scene, so I'll show it here in a second. I see my screen.
You're good.
Yeah.
No, wow.
All right, got him.
Yeah, so.
Wow.
Damn. Well,
Unfortunate.
Yeah.
Was it?
Damn, she got that 360 no scope.
I don't find this entertaining whatsoever, but if you're offended, I guess it's one of those episodes where I'm not supposed to watch.
Oh, please. I'm sorry. At this point, if you're offended by South Park, you need to go touch grass. Like, you expect it. South Park, you have to expect it at this point.
South Park, Family Guy, all of them.
That's what I'm saying. At this point, if you you should not be surprised if South Park offends you. Like that's how they got their start, for Christ's sakes. Come on.
Yeah, apparently, it's criticized the whole portrayal as sexist and lazy and a whole bunch of
boo-hoo.
animal cruelty. Animal cruelty.
Yeah, Pal World has animal cruelty. I don't see people crying about that.
Well, we might get soon. Who knows?
Well, then again, PETA probably will. But then again, do we care about what PETA says? They're the ones that euthanize animals left and right. They can shut up.
But apparently it's okay. But you can't do that in South Park.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's all. Yeah, you just can't do it in South Park. You can do it everywhere else. PETA can do it, but no, South Park can't.
Yeah.
Simpson said it.
Hmm?
Simpson said it.
Oh, yes.
Oh, man.
I don't care how old you are. South Park is gonna always be like the one and only.
Man, South Park. Between South Park and Simpsons, man,
Mm-hmm.
they were time.
Well,
traveling.
Simpsons kind of fell off over the years. Like they've been changing characters' lore. Like for some reason, Grandpa Simpson. At first, he was a World War II vet. Then he went to, I think, like a Vietnam vet or some shit. And then all of a sudden, they took away his veteran status. Like,
Yeah.
I remember for years his whole thing was that he was a World War II vet. Also, too, Seymour Skinner's. That's not his actual mom. Apparently, he's not even really Seymour Skinner. It's just that he took up the role of. So apparently, Skinner. The backstory they changed now is that it's not his mom. He basically was a soldier going to her to tell her that her husband had been killed in combat, and for some reason she didn't recognize. She thought that Seymour was in fact her actual son when he's not. And he goes, yeah, it's me. And ever since then, he's been taking care of her because he just felt bad.
Oh.
So, and then apparently the real Skinner came back and he was a total piece of shit, and everyone ran him out of town. But it's like, yeah, Simpsons has been kind of changing their lore for their characters, and it's kind of just weird, and I don't know why they would do that. Like I said, I'm especially weirded out by the fact that they took away Grandpa Simpson being a World War II vet, because I'm like, that was kind of his whole thing for the longest time, and now all of a sudden he's not.
Bad writing.
Yeah. Yeah, but other than that, next news, this big circulating rumor that, I guess people want to see Robin so bad here in either it's DCU or the DC, Elseworlds, that being apparently in Batman Part 2, that rumors are speculating that we are going to maybe see Robin, but that is indeed false. James Gunn did debunk that news altogether. Plus, it's way too early. I mean, Batman being in year 3, basically in the first film. I mean, it's way too early for us to even have Robin, in my opinion. What do you guys thoughts?
I don't think it's ever too early to have Robin, in my personal opinion. Now, you definitely want to have Batman doing his own thing for like maybe 1, maybe 2 movies, but at the same time, like Robin is like one of the pivotal roles that we haven't seen with Batman since Val Kilmer, I believe, like live action, and that's back in like 1900s, early 2000s. So like,
Mm-hmm.
it hasn't been a minute since we've seen like an actual live action Robin. So, like, I can understand like the want to actually see a Robin.
Yeah, I mean, I kind of have my more of my faith in Anna Negreira. Hopefully, she does her casting well, especially in James Gunn's eyes. The script is good, and so hopefully, I got more faith in that than having him being in part of the DC Elseworlds, like I guess, in the Batman Part 2. Next news we have with John Leguizamo. Yeah, Leguizamo. Basically, kind of slammed Dean Cain, the former actor that was Clark Kent and Superman back in there. I want to say early 1900s. Yeah, early 1900s in the show Lois and Clark, if you don't remember, becoming an ICE officer. Yeah, an ICE officer. How you guys feel about that?
Oh, I'm sorry. You gotta roll that one back. Who the fuck's an ICE officer?
The former
Dean
Superman
Cain.
actor.
Yeah. Yeah, so Dean Cain's officially an ICE officer.
He gotta make money too, man.
Wait, he's an actual ICE officer, or is he playing an ICE officer?
He's gonna be an official ICE officer.
Oh, he's actually. Oh, I mean, hey, okay, cool. I don't give a shit. Good for him.
Yeah,
That is crazy though.
it is.
Yeah, so
And
Leguizamo basically.
I'm gonna leave that alone. That's political. That's way too political.
I mean, listen, it it is a weird career shift going from an actor to an ICE agent.
Yeah.
But I mean, I don't give the guy any shit for it. It is a form of law enforcement, whether or not you agree with it. So I don't have any problems with it.
Yeah,
I
so
don't have
basically,
problems with the functionality of ICE. The only thing I have a problem with is like the way that it's been doing in the news lately, and it's just
Yeah.
not a good look. It really isn't.
You know what? When it comes down, like, I'm not gonna get too deep into it, but when it gets into the news and stuff like that, I do have to question, because like, it does depend on where you're listening to, because one side is gonna blow it up in one way, and the other side's gonna blow up the other way. So one side's gonna say only the good, one side's only gonna say only the bad, and
Sure.
that's why I really do question the news itself. So if I am gonna follow the news, or any kind of news, I tend to kind of like look into it myself from other sources that aren't Fox or MSNBC. I look from like average Joes like you and I who are doing the research themselves and then coming up with different opinions from there. I don't.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't. I don't follow like the like straight up like regular media.
Yeah, I get what you're saying. It's just like the stories of white people that are actual citizens or naturalized citizens that actually got their paperwork finished and still get locked up for weeks and months without being able to talk to a lawyer.
Well,
It's
I
just a
mean,
messed up
the other thing too is, I mean, I had heard, I mean, way in the past, a long time ago, there was a story that someone was an actual U.S. born, like not even just U.S. born, like he was born, raised, and his family had been here for generations. It was a white dude too, and for some reason they thought he was illegal. They arrested him, and they ended up shipping him out to like another country. And he went to the embassy. Was like, "Hey, here's my documents. Like, I was born in that country." Like, "Oh, okay, cool." And the embassy sent him back, which was like fucking stupid. But it's just weird to think like.
It's saying that he had like some kind of Japanese American heritage, so to speak. So
Well, no, this wasn't recent. This was years ago. I don't know if it was. I don't know if it was that. But as far as I'm aware, he was an American dude, like a white dude. And like I said, for him just to get deported like that, it's like, okay, that I will give credit. If it's still operating the same way, I will give criticism where criticism is due, simply because of failure to get proper paperwork done. Because at that point, that just sounds like a clerical error to me. That's just someone being stupid and
Oh, some of the cases they show paperwork and they still don't believe them.
Well, that's yeah. I mean, well, here's the thing too. If like the way I look at the ICE agents is like if it's the agents themselves, if they're given an order to go grab somebody, it's the cops. They're basically like they're kind of like the cops. They're basically the taxi cab driver. They're not there to question whether or not the documents are correct. They're there to follow whatever the paper says. So if the papers that they have are incorrect, then that's going to be on whoever is responsible for the paperwork. That's going to be responsible for. Well, that's going to be on the people who are responsible for the paperwork. The agents themselves are just, like I said, the delivery men. So that's why I don't give shit to ICE agents. If anything, I'll give shit to the organization themselves for not doing proper due diligence and sending the agents where they need to go. So that's kind of the way I look at it.
Fair enough.
yeah, that's again a lot to go on, but apparently some people are just not really.
Oh yeah, no, people. Yeah, no, I can already imagine people are being unhinged and going after this poor guy just because he chose to do a job that he thought he was doing something good. Like, granted, too, the other thing is, yeah, I remember a lot of people. At least I'm giving hope to this. A lot of people who do try to go into the police department, the military, ICE, these agencies, they're doing it ultimately. Most do it for the purpose of wanting to be a part of, help with the community. Try to do the right thing essentially. Now, is that the same for everybody? No, but in the end of the day, ultimately, it is from good moral intentions, and that's why it's like I don't give him shit for that. So I think people kind of need to get over themselves a little bit with this.
Okay, so can I say something on it?
What's up?
Yeah.
All right. So, in my opinion, it speaks to two things: how we cast people, number one, and it's the truth of how the characters are. So, true or false? Superman is a refugee.
Not necessarily.
Refugee
I mean,
from his planet, because I
yes
guess
and no.
But
from his planet, I would say yes, because he didn't kind of face, clear up his name as well as his family's surname. But I mean, you can get to have the chance because again, his planet blew up, so to speak. But other than that, I mean,
that's true. Wait. First, is he a refugee? Yes, right. A refugee is a person that is okay. Hold on. I'm going to read the actual definition. Hold on, 1 second. Second, y'all. Wait a minute. So refugee. All right. Refugee is a condition of being safe or sheltered from pursuit, danger, or trouble. Right. That was him when he was a kid. All right. Now, one thing about it is the reason why I asked that is he a legal refugee?
didn't come here by legal means.
You're right. He didn't come here by legal means, but you got to remember too is a refugee is somebody who's seeking asylum status simply by
escaping somewhere, basically.
exactly. He's trying to escape from something. The reality is he came here unwittingly as a child. He was a baby. They just shoved him in a pod, and he woke up basically in what, Kansas? So in a weird way, I wouldn't call him a refugee because he was adopted. So I guess the best way you can really look at that situation, I would equate it to is the kids that were taken out of Vietnam after the war. So the kids that were essentially freely given up by their parents because their parents didn't want their kids growing up under communism. So if those kids are classified as refugees by their parent status, then yeah, I suppose you can call Superman a refugee in that case. Since those kids were willingly given up by the parents for the sake of getting them someplace safe, and they were then later adopted in the States. So,
all right, here's my point there. America was founded to be the place where, you know, refugees, people that were, you know, didn't have a home they could go to, essentially. As you know, that's why we have, you know, Lady Liberty. However, and the reason I'm gonna tie this back to Superman is if we're talking about Dean Cain joining ICE, that's technically everything against the character he played.
not necessarily, because now you're getting into something different. This is a common argument. So the issue.
Wait. Before you go to continue that, the reason why I'm gonna say yes is because even if we keep it to DC, there is in the DC world there is plenty aliens illegally on Earth, right? Besides Superman, okay. If he's joining something specifically like that, again, he was able to play a character he truly did not understand.
I don't. Well, first of all, I don't
think like a
I think
personal belief in their like I guess what do you call it acting or
Yeah, the character that they played, it may be two different.
yeah, like
exactly. I feel
yeah,
like. I feel like you're assuming that the guy is just going to automatically live his role. Like, some actors do really care a lot about their roles and will basically abide by it. I mean, the best person I can think of is Casper Van Dien, who played as Johnny Rico in Starship Troopers. Anytime you go up to this, you could find this guy out in the middle of fucking nowhere and yell a line from Starship Troopers, and he'll snap right into Johnny Rico. Like, he...
Okay, well, that's neither here nor there per se about the ability of, like, yes. But wait, hell no, wait, no, y'all just said something about them like doing things that like or franchises not adhering to hiring people that do either, you know, research upon the stuff that they're doing or that's the same thing essentially.
No, well, like, first of all, how long ago did this guy play Superman?
Oof.
When he first started, probably shit.
When he first started, when was this? This is what I'm trying to say. And the other thing too is, again, just because he played, because
he played a racist Superman.
No, what I'm saying is the point that I'm trying to make is just because this guy played Superman doesn't mean that's going to define his entire life. I mean, sure, if the guy cares about his fans and actually cares about that role, and that was a role that actually matters to him, then sure, he'll probably abide by it and think about his fans. The reality is he played this character, not that it's not that he knew who it was or who wasn't, it's just not a role that sat with him. It's not a role that he cares about. It's not a role that he's like, hey, this is my life. Like I said, there are some actors who love their characters that they played, that's basically their identity for one reason or another. I mean...
But then why have a conversation in Superman now? If that's not his life, why are you talking about it now?
Oh, it was just news. That's the only reason why I brought it up.
Yeah.
It's not that. No. We're not talking about the fact that it's news. We're talking about, I mean, y'all haven't been watching this or following this, but I've been watching it a little bit. Dean Cain said like 4 different things. My point is, it's not just news. He's clearly doing it to try to get a reaction from the people. And I think I sent that message to the thing where John Leguizamo responded to what he said. It's like he's not sack chasing. He's like he's clout chasing the Superman movie. So at this point, if you're gonna put yourself back in the Superman frame and speak as Superman since you were Superman, you can't use that argument no more. Now we get to tear you down not tear you down, but now we get to beat you up in this argument because you're going to speak from a standpoint of something that you no longer understand.
But
No
another thing,
longer.
another thing to get into too, going to what you were saying before, the thing that commonly gets mixed up is that one thing that people forget is the argument is over legal immigration. We have people that are illegally coming into this country. It's not like they're coming in and getting their documents and things like that. You have people that are either waiting out their visas and not renewing them, or just not getting them at all and sneaking into the country as a whole. And it's not just people from one particular country. Unfortunately, Mexico is at this point our back door. So people from a variety of other countries, may it be from China, South America, Russia, the Ukraine, if they can get into Mexico easy, they'll just sneak across. So
Okay, so how do you feel about Martian Manhunter? That's a grown ass adult thing. That nigga snuck in.
He's a Martian too. Yeah.
I mean, to be fair, in all fairness, how do you deport him?
Send his ass back to Mars.
How do you send him back to Mars? At that point, you need Lex Luthor to launch his ass. We can't even afford. The U.S. government can't even afford to launch a spaceship anymore. You think they're gonna launch him? They're not launching his ass.
Especially someone who can like morph into other people.
Yeah,
okay.
Exactly.
He
Oh, wait.
his face, body genealogy. Like, he could be a female. Like, you wouldn't know who he is.
He can look around and be like,
Yeah,
the ICE agent can approach this guy.
The
The ICE agent can approach this guy, but excuse me, sir, we need to take you. You're illegal. Hold on. Is he legal? Okay, touch him. Now I'm legal. Look, I'm him.
No, just light a match. And that's the easiest part. I mean, granted, everybody's cut by fire, but I mean, hey.
Oh, you know how many? You know how
I'll
liable?
go to
You know how messed up that situation would be. Hey, let's put a match by this guy's face, and accidentally put somebody on fire, bro. Like, psh,
Bro,
millions.
you got Santa Guardians as well too. Hawkman and Hawkgirl. What you mean?
Yeah.
Yeah. Going by the other runs. If you want to go by the one that from the different planet, then yeah.
And the other thing too
Oh,
is
shoot,
like
Wonder Woman.
the other thing, and not to get too deep into it, but like just the whole point. Other countries have strict immigration regulations. Arguably, I believe Japan is one of the most restrictive as well. Why is it okay for other countries to restrict who can come and who can and can't come into their countries, but when we do, it's a bad thing?
I just think it's just the rhetoric.
It is. No, it's a political thing. It's a rhetoric, and it's just it's a matter of it's just a matter of different parties trying to use both sides to manipulate the public. In my opinion, I definitely agree with that, but it's still, like I said, I do think that the whole immigration issue is something blown way out of proportion. I think honestly, people just need to get over themselves overall. So I think this guy being Superman or having been Superman, or I don't really know what his role was, but guy joins ICE because he needed a job. He thought this was the right thing to do, so I don't see a reason to beat him over the head, honestly.
Oh, but what June's saying is
That's an old ass nigga. What the hell he doing in ICE?
June's saying that I guess he did it for more than just.
Bro, let's be honest, bro. It's an old ass dude. The hell is he doing in ICE?
Well, how old is he?
Dude, this
Gotta be in
dude
his 60s.
gotta be 60s, 70s, bro. What the fuck they doing in ICE? You got Joe Biden in ICE? Well, come on, bro.
Okay, I mean, in that regard, yeah, bro definitely needs, maybe he ought to just retire. But granted, I think there are also cops that are old as fuck, too, so.
Yeah, he's like in his 60s, basically.
Bro, all he's gonna be doing is just using prejudice fucking tactics. Oh, illegal, bro. What the fuck? Let's be honest here, bro. Like the niggas. Just,
I mean,
bro.
First of all, it depends on where they put him. If they shove him on the board and he's watching people literally sneak across,
if he can't enforce shit, that's my point.
They'll
Like, what the fuck?
they'll just have him. He'll just pull a Cartman.
Yes, exactly.
He's just gonna spray water and hit him with a taser.
Yeah. I mean, this show did start like in the 1993. Yeah.
Was it okay.
Yeah, early 60s now.
Oh, then yeah, even if you know what, look, if the guy made a comment, it probably was to inflame people. I wouldn't doubt that at all. But in the end of the day, I don't think if he's not living Superman, if he's not regularly showing up to Comic-Con and really trying to keep his name within the Superman franchise, if he's not if he just pulled this out of his ass all of a sudden, I don't blame him, because it probably was just to stir up shit. I would not doubt that in the slightest. But like I said, I'm not blaming the guy because he chose to get a job at ICE. Honestly, now should a man in his 60s be getting a job at ICE? Honestly, should they be doing any form of law enforcement or anything that's that heavy? I mean, probably not. Especially since I think even like athletes tend to retire within what the 30s, 40s. So yeah, I could definitely have criticisms about that. But like I said, overall, I think people are just taking this out of proportion.
Yeah.
I would say, me personally, I thought the same thing, but I guess June's saying that he was saying like politically, or even like he was saying like stuff that was like to get rises out of people.
Yeah, I think this
So,
is like a sort of get a rise out of people, but
so maybe it's
I
like
think
a
it is kind of ironic that you kind of are taking this role, though. In
yeah,
my
maybe
opinion.
it's just a stunt so he can like, because I mean, when you're older and retired, you don't have that same income. So maybe it's just a way for him to get his name back out there and
All
either get
right,
more
so look,
projects or get
I
some
just searched my
followers.
stuff. I just searched my stuff. I got 4 screenshots of what the man said. All right, hold on, let's go down the list. Ex Superman actor Dean Gunn says Superman movie is too woke. 1, 2. Mark Wade responds to him. All right, 3. Okay, hello. Hello. What else he says? Dean says. Okay, here we go. Dean Kane says. Hello. Okay. Hmm. How woke is Hollywood going to make this character? Um, what else? He said a bunch of shit as well too. They don't know. He said something about they don't know who the character is or some shit like that. Some other shit to where they just kind of he's just doing it. But then he started talking about the numbers of the movie and everything. Criticizing James Gunn as well too. And how he's running DC. So yeah, generally, yo, it's like yo, it's like, bro, you, there's nothing wrong with the fucking movie. Number one, you know, there's nothing wrong with the movie. Maybe he's mad he wasn't a cameo or some shit, or maybe
I mean, again, how much does
maybe
this guy care about the Superman role? Like, has he prior to this has he been active as Superman or anything involving?
I don't think so.
So I don't
Or
think it
not.
has anything to do with him not being a cameo. Then
But even then, how different is this movie compared to something in the past? Like, yeah, if we're gonna say, yeah, but you're highlighting the fact that, like, for example, the movie, talked about immigration or at least invasion of thereof or whatnot. But that happens in the comic and in the show. So
were those countries actually a thing in the comic books?
yes, so this is the thing.
Newer
Whether
comics
it
or older
has
comics? Like like
in
within the last
well,
couple of
in the
years?
show. I can show you. I think I can pull up a thing right now where nations are literally. It's a clip where nations are literally
No,
talking
no, no.
about
But I'm saying,
basically.
are those nations that were in the movie specifically, were those two countries, even the way their map was, were they ever presented in like older comics prior to the last, like, say, 5 years?
Let's see, huh? Let's see, Moravia. Hold
And
up.
there's a reason why I specify that, and the reason for that is because the way the map layout was shown in the movie, it looks like they were trying to make a reference to Israel and Palestine, painting Israel as the bad guys. So it did kind of feel as a little bit like it was politically motivated. If those were
Moravia
two,
was mentioned in Superman #2, 1939.
did they ever show a map of it though? I'm curious.
Yes.
Oh,
Can you pull that up?
Okay, here we go.
No, and there's a reason why. Because if it just so happens that this was how it was even in '39, okay, I have no leg to stand on. I will give him that credit.
Hmm.
Uh, one second. Hold on. Yeah, hold on 1 second. Okay. Wait a minute.
Wait, okay, so that was from the movie though. Was it? I'm pretty certain that was the movie.
Mm. Yeah, it looks like from the movie.
Uh,
Is it supposed to be Afghanistan?
from Pakistan.
Because the way that looks to me, that looks like Pakistan, well, Afghanistan right there. Then to the left, Iran. Then next to it would be, would that be No, more north would be Pakistan, and then to the right would be India.
Let me look. Let me see.
Also,
Middle.
the hammer of Bavaria, or whatever the fuck that guy's name was,
Arabia.
Moravia, was that dude a commie?
No, he was Superman.
Well, no, but I'm saying, was he rocking the hammer and sickle? I'm talking about in the comic, not the movie.
Oh, got you.
There's a reason. Again, that's another reason why I asked, because even if Moravia was it. I'm sorry.
I believe he wasn't a comic. I believe he was. Yeah.
No, because they showed the image from the older comics. But what I'm saying is, if he was a commie, then the whole purpose of Superman being against, well, one reason why Superman would have been against them is because back then the United States had a very anti-communist stance. So effectively, they changed the reasoning for Superman fighting them to fit the modern narrative.
Yeah, and Superman was like Superman and also Captain America were basically something for the war effort to basically get people behind the idea of war.
Well, I don't know if I would necessarily say. Well, at least Captain America, yes, that was for war because the whole thing was to boost people into the idea of fighting the Nazis. Especially since there was a comic book flat out of Captain America punching Hitler. But Superman, I think, wasn't necessarily for the idea of getting people into like, hey, let's go to war. I think it was just more of like, just the general idea of America itself, freedom, liberty, shit like that. So I don't know if necessarily if Superman was the same thing. I could definitely see Captain America being used as like war propaganda, but I don't know about Superman. I don't think so. If anything, he was at the very minimum anti-communist propaganda, at the very least.
$2,002 for Duran per.
Okay, so at least but were they first appearance? Okay, but was there ever a point in the comic books prior that they were both, engaging with one another? Because that's another thing too. If all of a sudden they just mash these two countries together, because again, the reason why I'm saying that is, does it? The whole reasoning is because if these two countries never they existed prior to the movie, but if they never existed next to each other, and the way everything seems, like I said, I do feel like aspects of this movie were politically motivated.
Yeah. Yeah, it probably, like I said, it does fit into the narrative, but like again, like my final stance probably on this argument is probably, yeah, he did use this to kind of get a raise out of people, but again, him being choosing the role he did, I mean,
honestly, you know what?
Iconic though.
I'm gonna say this. Nowadays, for one reason or another, whether you're for it, against it, whether it's for you, against you, or anything like that, it does keep feeling like more and more a lot of these movies and games are inserting politics and whatnot. And honestly, I think the purpose of that, part of it is probably, depending on who's involved, probably political, probably to drive political narratives. But at this point, it's just so copy and paste and so common that I'm beginning to believe the reason why they're doing it is to deliberately get a stir out of people. Put it this way. There was a theory that one of the reasons why Trump won the election was because of the fact that he was always in the news. He was always front and center on people's minds. So basically someone was always talking about him. So effectively, one reason that he helped him win was there was always somebody in a sense advertising for him. There's a saying from what was that movie? The show, The Boys. You don't need everybody to love you. You just need a few people to hate you. So, and I think honestly that's kind of what falls in line here. I think for Superman, I think it was blatantly done to stir up shit to get people to start talking. Again, just opinions. I don't have anything concrete on that to say 1,000% that's what it was. I just think that's what it was the case. But granted, sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't. In the case of, I've beaten this game to death at this point, Dustborn, they definitely tried their political shit and it failed miserably. I think at most they ever had was like 80 players active.
Moving on. Humble Bundle, yeah, is currently having a big sale. 4 games, well, 14 other games actually. One of them included is Batman, from the older games. That is the Batman Arkham series, Arkham Asylum, Arkham City, and Arkham Knight Premium Edition, as well as Arkham Origins. Starting at the price of $12 and under, actually. Yeah, just $12. So if you're interested in the Batman series, or as well as the other fighting games such as Injustice 2, the regular Injustice Gods Among Us, or even Mortal Kombat 11, or even XL, they are now available under those sale price. And I think it is going on the sale through August 27th. So just $12, we can access these massive lineups as well as the Batman Arkham games. Next news. So for the update for the script of the Batman Part 2, he did kind of somewhat finish the first draft, and so far James Gunn has made a review that so far it is good, and he's willing on to finish its final final script, and then once that sets to be released, or scheduled to maybe see a film set maybe soon as early as spring of next year, of course. And I cannot wait to see the behind the scenes on those. Also, another Fortnite collaboration coming from the Batman here again. That is from the Tim Burton's era, 1989 to be exact. Batmobile coming to Fortnite. But again, this other, more like it is expected to happen, but it won't to happen till at least that coming on the Batman Day. If you're not aware of that, that is set to be on September 20th. Sometime in September, more likely.
Never
Next
heard of
news
Batman
for.
Day.
No, sorry, what were you saying?
Oh, I never heard of Batman Day.
Yeah, there was a Superman Day, Batman Day, and then there also for other comic book heroes as well, but I don't know the specific dates of them. But yeah, Batman Day is one of them, and it's set to be in late September. So that I do know. Yeah, for our next DC Comics lineup, that is covering for the Hispanic Heritage Month, actually, and we do have they're coming out with 7 specifically illustrated comic book covers. That is starting from September 5th through the 25th. That's starting from Blue Beetle, of course, Jaime Reyes, Blue Beetle #1. Again, September 5th being Shazam #3. My featured characters are Pedro Pena. Yeah, I hope I'm saying that last name right. Next is September 5th, again, that being Batman 137. That is Bane, featuring character Bane. Next is September 12th, The Green Lantern #3, featuring Kyle Rayner. September 19th, Green Lantern War Journal #1, featuring Jessica Cruz. September 19th, Hawkgirl #3, again featuring Hawkgirl. And then lastly, September 25th, Detective Comics #1074, featuring Renee Montoya, as you know, as the Question. In person, I can't. I would like to see more Kyle Rayner, but as well as Jessica Cruz. And that's all I have for DC. If anybody want to touch on DC topics before I move on. All right, so Next, going to anime in the anime world, we have a official partnership that being Crunchyroll partnering with Delta Flight. So
This is
Crunchyroll
animal
is
involving
officially
Delta?
no Crunchyroll. They're being involved in they're collabing with Delta Flight. So especially like when you fly, of course, besides seeing the movies, you can enroll in I guess in a limited trial. So yeah, 24-hour free trial, and that's what Crunchyroll streaming service, and you can stream over, of course, all these great animes that are out that we have so far, as well as, of course, the big four that are set in the past. And I think this is a big deal. I can't wait for this to actually. I think it is, but it is starting later this year. What do you guys thought about this?
It's very interesting. I think it's a good thing for anime community, I guess, for people to actually venture out and possibly find something that they like, especially if it's going to be free on the flight for 24 hours. It gives people a chance to check out anime that probably didn't want to invest in it to actually see if they like it. And yeah, I don't see anything bad about it.
Question: doesn't Delta have like kind of a bad track record with customer service and things like that? Like, don't most people like dread flying Delta? Am I wrong about that?
Nah,
Probably
there was definitely
maybe.
like a meme or
Yeah,
like going on
yeah.
about it, but like they've improved since then.
Okay, because I was gonna say I'm like I've heard bad about Delta. I don't even think Crunchyroll's enough to save them.
Yeah,
Yeah,
but hopefully, I mean, it might change their mind. Hopefully, I mean, if this is an exclusive to Delta only airlines, then it might turn some heads.
It
Might
you
turn
gotta
depends
some
think
on
heads.
where
about it.
you are. It just depends because in the South, Delta got clout. So it's
Yeah,
like they're more preferred in the South, depending on like if you probably talking about up here, you probably need to be on Southwest or something.
Oh, so
because like
it's location
Frontier.
based.
yeah, because when it comes down to like prices, that's what matters most, really. Like
Gotcha.
if I can get a one way
And
flight,
survivability.
that I mean, yeah, that too. But like most planes aren't going to go down. But like for the most part, when it comes down to like, hey, if I can get me a price for like $200 to get somewhere, yeah, I'm going with that person. Or like if first class only costs me an additional 200 or $300, I'm going with that compared to, hey, this other flight is going to cost me 500 with like a regular economy class. When I can go first class on this one, I'm going with the other option. Me personally.
Mm, okay. Mm. Yeah, I have. I don't think I only experienced Delta and then Spirit. Yeah, but shoot, I mean, I already have a control account, but doing this and making this collaboration is I think pretty cool. So next news. One Piece is already renewed for season three already. Besides, besides they had a schedule for season two that is yet to come out.
Is that One Piece?
Yeah, the live action, like for
Oh, I
yeah.
was about to say, man, that's better gone.
Yeah. So for the live action One Piece Netflix, it is set to be renewed for season three already. Before we have season two yet to be premiered. It is again set to be on track for September. Well, not September. Later next year. Later next year. Yeah.
Even though I'm a One Piece fan, I still don't like the live action. I can't get behind it.
I mean, it's pretty good, man. It's pretty good.
It's bad.
And then with that, also for my last news, I just want to show the latest trailer that we have so far for the live action season two trailer. And I'll share my screen.
Now, I will say that the actors are good, but the script is horrible.
I think
What's
it
wrong?
will.
What's wrong with the script?
The script is good. The
It's
character is good.
it's not accurate at all. Like you know how you have problems with Resident Evil?
Oh, that's how it is. Okay, gotcha.
That's how I have problems with One Piece. Yeah.
Enough said. See
You guys see my screen?
that's my thing with nerd shit, like movies, video games, things like that. It's loading. Whenever like that's one thing. Whenever but it's good. I don't know what your problem is. Hold on. What series you like that fucked up? oh, this show was all fucked up. They ruined the characters. Yeah, there you go. Oh, okay, I see your point. Like, that's usually the go-to. Like I said, I had an argument with a coworker over that. He was saying how great the Halo show was. I'm like, no, it sucks. And he was arguing me. And then I told him how great Gotham was, and he was like, that show sucked. Oh, wait, never mind. Now I get it. Like, yeah, see, now you get why I have a problem with it. He's like, yeah, okay.
Well, see, here's the difference. The One Piece show is actually largely done with Oda actually making the
Yeah,
script.
it did evolve with the original Arthur though. That's
So
a
that's the
big
only difference with these other ones.
Fair.
Oda is actually saying, "I want this to occur," so that's why it's sanctioned.
Hold on. Okay, so yes, he does have the key moments that he wants, but the way that they have executed it has been terrible. So I'm pretty sure he didn't write the script.
He did.
No, he didn't.
He did.
You're saying Oda wrote the script.
He did.
Pull it up.
And he has selected a lot of the actors as well too.
Now the actors I could see because he wanted to make sure that they represented the people correctly. Because as we always been saying, One Piece characters are very diverse. It's not just Japanese people. Like the only Japanese person as the main character is Roronoa Zona, and that's accurate.
Facts.
Mm.
What's name?
Yeah. You guys see my screen?
Yeah, you're good.
Yeah.
Everything I've done, everywhere I go, is for the One Piece.
What is that?
Thoughts?
No, a trailer definitely doesn't do justice. So I ain't gonna hold you.
It doesn't do it justice, or it
Yeah.
does?
It doesn't.
Still not a fan. Trailer was good. Still not a fan though.
In my opinion, it could be better, but like
Yeah, some scenes was, it sold, some it did. Yeah, that's my biggest, concern, even with them going beyond season 3, it's like, how are you gonna explain hockey and how's it gonna be portrayed? Like
Oh
that's
yeah,
what's
because
gonna be
we
my
gotta figure
biggest.
out how they're gonna hold Ace, because Ace should have learned hockey. He had hockey as a kid, but for some reason he didn't develop it, so his armament hockey wasn't even present during the Marine 4 arc. So we gotta talk about that. But other than that, yeah,
Yeah.
because it didn't show hockey with Shanks either when he did the what do you call it, the creature of the bay or creature of the lake, whatever you call it.
Yeah, when he saved Luffy.
Yeah, even though it does show that he does have hockey later on in the series, but for some reason they didn't show like the um, Supreme King hockey going off when he did it in the live action as well. But it is what it is.
Mm, yeah. Yeah. That's all the news I have for now, and then I guess I'll just pass it off to Ace.
all right. So actually talking about One Piece again, there was actually news about that. Or would I say controversy? So the controversy is people didn't like the new actor for Vivi. All right.
Mm, mm.
Mm-hmm.
I did see that surfing around.
Hmm?
I said I did see that surfing around on my feed.
Yes. So in this, a lot of the people were they were mad at his selection, and Oda himself selected the actor. Now, as Ali said a second ago, there's a lot of different demographics in it, and a lot of people were just saying nonsense things as far as stuff like um she doesn't she isn't this or she isn't that. Let me see. I want to see. I'm gonna show my screen. Wait a minute. Let me show you. Here we go. Hold up. All right. There we go. Okay, so this is the actor that they want to cast for Vivi. All right. What y'all thinking? What y'all thinking?
I mean, it's again, we're not gonna have a complete replica of what the anime character is to real life. I mean, as
Oh
long as
shit.
the character is played real well and it's to par what the anime was, then I have no pushback about it.
Can you bring up her picture again?
To stop lying to yourself is crazy.
No problems. I mean, I understand why everybody's having problems because the VV in the anime is very pale skin, and now you're putting somebody that is actually accurate to what the region would be, um, and that's the reason why I don't like it.
No, saying they hope Crocodile wins is crazy. Yeah, this people are gonna trash talk, of course.
Emily Rudd sends support. This is a live action Nami. Perceived canon does not excuse blatant racism or hate of any kind. I am beyond proud of our show, our cast, and the opportunity we had to bring to life a story centered around a diverse found family by an equally diverse found family. She has a point. Perceived canon. That shit is just perceived. She do got a point.
Well, question: how is the character
Yes.
described in the anime or in the manga? I'm sorry, not the anime.
And the island that they're in, the island of Alabasta is a desert island,
Mhm.
and it has a lot of uh, Middle Eastern and Arabian background to it. Like it does play around that theme a lot. Vivi is seen as pale skinned, but at the same time, when it comes to royalty, they're not out in the sun a lot. So that makes sense as to why her skin is as pale as it is. But at the same time, she did spend time in Baroque work, so she should have had darker skin. But as a, I guess maybe just to show the fact that she's royalty, that her
Yeah,
skin was as pale as it was. Because if you look at her father is darker skin, and everybody else around her has like that tan skin as well. So Vivi's just like the only one that stands out with that skin. In all honesty, because if you look at it, I don't know if you have Cobra up there, if you could pull him up, but he has a darker skin that matches the region.
See, the only thing the only thing I can say, and like, I'm not going to get too into this because honestly, this is one of those arguments that at this point, it's like it's kind of like beating a dead horse with a stick. So the only thing I'm going to go into is
So that's her dad, Nick.
yeah.
okay. Well, no, what I was gonna say is, like, Italians are typically considered, white, but then there's also, if you're in like Sicily or lower parts of Italy, it is possible to be a darker skinned Italian. I remember my teacher even saying, I believe her father-in-law, because her husband's family was like Italian like natives, um, and back in like the '60s or something, cops assumed him to be black when in fact he was actually Italian born. Um, but Italians are typically considered white, so it's possible that the character could still be light skinned despite region. I mean, even if they are showing, showing as is, despite the region that's basically depicted. That's what I'm saying. So it is plausible, especially too. I think I even talked when it comes down to genetics too. It is completely possible that you could be, regardless of what your skin tone is, if you have somebody who's a relative at some point in your family's history that's of a different ethnicity, it's possible that you can come out that ethnicity. It's weird genetics. It's totally possible. So I just at this point, I just kind of feel like it's an argument that I'm tired of, honestly.
Fair enough. But yeah, basically what we're saying is that one, Oda chose the person, so it's not like they're just going off of whoever they want to put in there that part. And now two, yes, she's depicted as lighter skin or paler skin in the anime, but everybody else around her has a darker shade. Even like family members. So like it's just what we're saying is that it fits the region. Like it's like Egyptian, Middle Eastern, and they have a little tan skin. Now they are lighter complexion, yes, but they do have a little bit of a tan, and they're mad at the fact that she has that tan now, even though she was pale skinned.
All I'm gonna really get into it is if people are blatantly saying like outwardly racist shit, then yeah, I'm not for that. But if their comments are to the effect of kind of like what I was just saying, where I don't entirely think that region is a major factor since genetics can play out weirdly. If that's where the argument comes down to, then like I said, it depends on really what people are saying. So that's why it's like me, I'm the type where I don't immediately jump to, calling it racist unless someone's explicitly speaking out of racism. Like there's a difference between opinion and racist, and that's why it's like I'm not one to just blatantly go for it. The other thing too is we were at that point where cancel culture was very quick to go after people, especially when they were it was wrong. So that's why it's like I'm not willing to, I feel like now to call it racist is kind of it. There's a I'm trying to think of the word. It's a harsh term at this point where it's like if you're gonna call that, you better be right. You know what I mean?
You were just saying, I've never said they were racist. What I was saying was it makes sense for the reason.
Oh no.
And also the author, the creator of the show, is the one that casts this person.
Oh no, and with that said, I mean, if it was the original author who casted it, then I can only support it. The original creator made it, so at that point, the original creator made the decision. So at that point, I can't really argue.
But that's what June said. That's what I'm trying to say. Like,
oh no, I agree. Yeah, no. At that point, no. Like that's what I'm saying. At that point, that being the case, then I can't fight on that. And my whole thing is, I think people arguing over it as it is, like in general, I do think it's kind of just at this point, it's just a tired argument overall.
Fair enough.
And that just solved everything. In my opinion, it's supposed to solve everything. Like he picked her. Like how you got more power than you know what I'm saying? That's why I hate fans sometimes.
I mean, here's the thing: if it's a criticism, like them being like, well, why did it why did it matter? Anything like that. Again, if it's coming out of a place of criticism, then at that point now it's just simply one's opinion. But so long as it's not coming from a place of hate and it's just more of
in my opinion, it never should even be criticism because the author of the damn thing who made it so you can even enjoy it, handpicked her, and you got something to say about it.
And you still got something to say, and then at the very least, I would say it. These are just attractors. I mean, whether you know a lore or not, it's like, bro, you just you just come for the hate. That's all there is to it. I mean,
I hate when fans do shit like that. Me personally, like I've experienced that. I do not. I really hate that. Like a fan literally has to stay in the fan's place sometimes. Especially you do not have more power than the creator of the show. If you want to see it, shut up and consume it. Like specifically if it's coming from the creator. Now somebody else, sure, raise your voice about the shit, but it's from him. What is
yeah,
there to talk about?
To
You
be
know?
fair, though, even if it's
they
not the
want to
original
know
creator, when they
why is it not
do,
entertainment?
even if it's not the original creator, when they do swap, and people are complain about it or have something to say about it, they still get demonized anyway.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, we had that very well with one in DC a little bit. Candace Patton playing Iris West. I mean, boy, they argued up and down against her.
Mhm. And it's like, and it's like, okay, that's a different thing. That's a show creator doing show creator stuff, you know. But like, this is different. This is the creator of the actual book or show. Do you feel me? Everything. This is him. This is not. This is
Yeah,
like J.K. Rowling's handpicking her Harry Potter cast.
yeah, but
Who are you to
I
talk
think
about it?
it's the author or whether it's the showrunner, people are just gonna complain. I mean, if it's not in their image, oh no, it's wrong. We're noticing a huge difference. What's wrong with her skin? It's all types of shit.
This is like when they said when they got mad at Starfire, and I think the creator of Starfire came out and said they never specified a race, but everybody else was saying that oh no, well she's supposed to be light skinned, she can't be dark skinned. Or the creator was like,
Orange.
what are y'all talking about?
She's orange. Like, are you calling her Donald Trump? Like what are we doing
Well,
here?
a lot of people were saying Brazilian, and I'm just like, well,
I
I don't
mean,
know.
fair enough, red hair, but at the same time, like she's orange, like and an alien.
No, but yeah,
Like orange is like crazy as fuck. Like, but hey, anyways, Netflix has deemed that Naruto was the most watched of 2025 thus far. All right, not that it's ended so far because we're still in 2025, but so far everybody watching it. Everybody watching Naruto, and I ain't gonna lie to you, I was one of them because I have been watching it. It kind of creates a nostalgia effect.
yeah, yes, definitely should encourage you to try to at least give Boruto a chance if you haven't already.
Don't do
Nah, bro, he's hating on it. No,
Don't do it.
I mean, I
no.
mean, I would say for if you actually love the content and you got nothing to do, sure, if you pick your parts and what you do want to watch. But some parts are canon, especially with you may
Oh yeah.
some things that you may think is not canon, but it is canon,
Oh
whether
yeah.
you don't like it or not.
No, my problem is it's a lot of filler. Boruto is full of filler, and again, the author did say that he just wanted to have more time with the characters. I get that, but at the same time, like the manga is so much better than the actual anime, and
No, manga is
it's
they're
sad that you
probably
put it in that state because you could like for Naruto fans transitioning into Boruto, we had high hopes, even though we still wanted to see what happened to Naruto before Boruto even happened, because there could have been like I've said before, you had after the Great Ninja War, Naruto still had to pass the tuning exam. Then after passing the tuning exam, he still had to go out and be in a squad. He had to lead a squad. Then after that, there's many of things that he had to do that would have been cool to see. And then the actual relationship of him and Hinata actually growing, that would have been cool to see. But instead, we got a movie, like a 2 hour movie, where it's just basically going over like um, flashbacks of Naruto and Hinata interactions. and showing that Hinata has been like she's loved Naruto for forever, which we knew, and uh,
Mm.
Naruto actually finally figuring it out that hey, she actually likes me. And Sakura, I'm not getting Sakura anytime soon, so I might as well go with Hinata. That's basically what it was. Uh,
Well, he just got over
and
the delusion, which I'm finally glad he
yeah,
did.
yeah,
Like,
but at the same time, like actually seeing that their relationship progress, not even like having like a slice of life, but just like seeing them like interact, even if it's like on a mission, looking like acting like flirty a little bit, or Naruto being shy, or like talking to her, trying to protect her, and stuff like that. Like that pain arc where he like loses it when Hanada gets hurt. That would have been cool to see like them on different missions going forward, but we never got that. Instead, we got Boruto, and Boruto was like it had the movie, and then it redid the movie for like the first few episodes, the same thing Demon Slayer does sometimes. And then after that, it was like filler, and then later on, it actually started getting towards the actual manga. And the reason why it lost so many Naruto fans is because it was a lot of slice of life filler, and nobody wanted to see that. Like we just got done with the Great Ninja War, and
mm,
we wanted to see more of Naruto, but you decided to cancel or finish that story and bring Boruto along, and then you bring up the first few episodes as hype is basically a recapture or the remake of the movie, which is a lot of action, and then
mm,
you have like 20 30 episodes of slice of life. It's just like what? Why are we
mm.
watching this right now?
Well, I believe, in my opinion, after that last movie, it was finally time for that next generation. Because when I did hear about the Boruto, I was like, okay, after this movie, hopefully maybe a couple years down the line they finally make it. And then once they finally came out, I was stoked for it. Of course, some of the fillers down the line I wasn't too happy about, but there, that's why it's kind of like is it gives you a sweet but a little bitter taste in the end because there were some things in the anime that I enjoyed that the manga didn't, but and it was vice versa because and one of them I can say, for instance, was the new version of the Rasengan that wasn't in the manga. Um, the other guy that was in the inner circle, I forgot what his name was. I'm gonna look him up real fast. He was not in the manga as well, but he kind of portrayed two things. One for another arc for the group, that being Boruto, Sarada, and Mitsuki, to kind of go in their training arc to where they can become stronger. So that kind of it portrayed that sort of instance. I got his name, man. But yeah, that's what in that one of the antagonists they kind of portrayed that kind of forced the group to kind of go deeper into their powers per se and get them stronger. I did like that aspect. And the third, even though I think I said in the last podcast episode, even though he got on my nerves too, but again he was a filler character, even though he wasn't in the manga. But one of the Otosuki characters, he basically had like a fishing rod, but in his last arc, he kind of went through the past and it kind of showed us to where Sasuke and Boruto kind of go to the past and kind of see in perspective what his father actually went to, which was Naruto and as well as Jiraiya had went through during that whole arc where they was trying to, bring back Sasuke and for Naruto to get actually stronger. Boruto. But yeah, that was one of the things I liked it in the anime that manga didn't do.
Okay. Now, for this one, I'm gonna break it up specifically, and we're probably gonna come back and do this portion more on Thursday. All right. Um, it's already 111 on this one and everything. We kind of promise we weren't gonna drag it out to more one on this one. So we're gonna uh start with Marvel when we come back in on Thursday Discord podcast, you guys. But anything you got to say to the people, guys?
As always, if you guys are into gaming, emulation, and other nerdy things, and hyped for the new Metal Gear Solid Delta, come check me out over on YouTube, Twitch, and TikTok. That being technical difficulties, TECH-NICKAL, and I will see you guys on over there.
Again, this is Ali Alibaba here for the games, anime, and Marvel. Catch you guys next time.
This is, Draw Fitness Lifestyle, giving you information on tips, nutrition, how to relieve your pain pressure points in the muscle, specifically in the hips or back or shoulders, and other tips for fitness. And if it's tailored to your needs, fitness plans, meal plans, all that good stuff, don't hesitate to message me about page on my channel on Instagram, Facebook, or even YouTube. And with that said, see you guys next time. And also, the character, his name is Deepa. Deepa, yeah, Deepa, by the way. It is weird, but that's his name. But that's all I want to say.
All right. And this is AC Slater, host of That Damn Podcast. Follow us again on social media at X That Damn Podcast. Also follow us on Discord, That Damn Empire. We're gonna try to grow that a lot bigger. So just look out for that. It's gonna most likely grow within the next month or so. So look forward to an active community. And like I said, just watch out for that episode Tuesday and Thursday, guys. But other than that, see you then.